Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the POT. Podcast tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash. Straight to the face, I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling's where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling's where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Yeah.
Welcome to Wrestling with them Wrestling Boys. I'm the POT alongside my tag team partner Big E, and we're here to bring you another episode of premium wrestling content. What's going on, bro?
My dog. Well, hey, but I feel out of place tonight. You there, you got your jersey on, your glasses on. I feel like it's, you know what I'm saying, like I'm just mediocre over here, like you really big timing me, but it's all good.
Hey man, it's number 35, man. That's a POT sophomore year, bro.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna call it KD, but you know, it is what it
is. I'm the real 35.
Hey, man, that's your boy. Hey, man, that's your. But yeah, man, a rough weekend. I'm having a rough time right now, but we gonna power through and keep giving the people what they want every Monday.
Absolutely.
Monday. So we gonna get it going right here.
You sound like one of those over the top arm wrestlers over there.
When I drive trucks, break arms, and arm wrestle. That's what I do and do bad. What your boy say? Too bad your old man's yeller, kid. Damn, Bull Hurley wasn't no joke, boy.
Right.
What are you doing with that guy? He's my dad. It's too bad. Go on and do, while we on it, go on and do the best part of the whole movie. Just do it one time.
Nose hurt hog.
He said, I'm gonna rip your shit arm off.
Hey, no, we gotta do one more though.
Hey man, white people curse the worst, dog. I just want to throw that out there.
Hey,
I just want to throw that out there. I'm gonna rip your shit arm off. What the hell does that mean?
It is a wrestling podcast, so we have to mention our other boy too.
Mr. Cutler is not through talking to you yet. Hey man, R.I.P. and shout out to Terry Funk, man.
Terry Funk, yes sir. Let's get back on track, buddy.
You don't tell me what to do.
You got the floor, bro.
This is the Big E and his pal podcast. You know.
And knew the heel turn was coming.
But do you like Karrion Kross and give you a deal and give you 24 hours to respond?
Man, right.
And we'll get into that in a little bit. Hey, you know, they just had Hogan's funeral not too long ago, and so TMZ put out like a little mini documentary about an hour long about, you know, people talking about him and stuff, and you know, had Mark Henry on there, and a lot of good stuff was said. A lot of stuff was said about, you know, the mishap of the N-word, which there is no mishap of the N-word. Either you said it or you didn't.
Right, he knew what he was saying.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't no mishap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
what it was a mistake. It was a
Right.
mistake that he made.
Absolutely.
So, did he pay for it? I would say so. A lot of people really spoke up for his character, and it was weird, really weird, man. You don't see Vince a lot anyway.
Right.
Even when he was a part of WWE, you're not going to see him a lot. If
Right.
you do something special or something bad has happened,
Right.
to see him talk, and he talked about the 10 bell salute like it wasn't enough. Like, did he deserve like a whole, just a Hulk Hogan's greatest hits Monday Night Raw type thing? Or, he said he would have did things a lot different, and said he was pretty upset that he wasn't invited as well. So, PR wise, I don't think you throw him out there on TV anyway. I think you continue. You continue with yourself.
They can't do that. They can't.
Right.
Do that. He know that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad, really, but that's his own fault. Really.
There's a lot of stuff going on. We do have Brock Lesnar back, but I don't think Brock Lesnar was in anywhere near all the stuff going on that Vince had.
I mean, look at the Vince documentary on Netflix.
Mhm.
That's what we don't know. I mean, what they told us.
Right.
There's, many scandals and stuff, even with Pat Patterson and the Rain
Yeah, and you've
Boys.
been hearing that for years. I mean, they had it on Phil Donahue back in the 80s.
Right.
With them talking about, if you want to get to the top, there was certain things you had to do.
Right.
So, guys that worked on the ring crew and stuff like that. I don't know, dog. You know what you hear, I just thought it was weird that he really, like, good of as a businessman as he once was, and all the stuff that he knows good and damn well that he can't have him on their TV.
Right.
So, but when it comes to you, you think the rules should be broken because you're Vince.
It wouldn't be their TV without him.
Right. And it is probably it's my company,
Yeah.
And I know he's a big time shareholder. He hasn't sold everything. So, I mean, who knows, man? I know the documentary was decent, as far as what they were trying to do, but I think that the McMahon stuff was a little eerie, almost creepy. Because it looks weird, you can tell he's had a lot of Botox and stuff done, and it just gave a weird vibe having him on there.
Dude, when he was at WrestleMania 39, when they was at SoFi, that was when the first Cody Roman, when Cody lost, when Sammy and Kevin beat the Usos, night one main event. He had that weird little Gomez, like not the old school
mustache
Gomez. He had the Raw Julia Gomez mustache, the little thin joint. You know what I mean? Like, that was so weird looking. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't know. That's the clone Vince. He cloned him. They cloned him. So
just like Gucci Mane and everybody else.
Yeah. That's the clone Gucci, man.
Right. Let's talk Naomi for a minute.
Yeah.
So, hey, we're just gonna throw it out there one more time. You stay. I'm gonna leave the cat out of it tonight. I'm gonna leave the cat out of it. That mustache was a pussy around him. I try to tell you.
You know what time it is.
But so, dude, I don't know if they're saying she's gonna be out for a while. Now they're saying longer than they expected, but there's no title been given up yet. Right now, we think everything is a work anyway.
Right.
All this thing. but there are rumors that she might be pregnant now, which I don't necessarily think is true because like they've been going this long and that careful. Why would you get pregnant during your title run? You know what I'm saying? Like if you've been this careful this long and they had no kids, you know what I mean? And I know she's getting down to the nitty gritty where, you know, I've seen in different like watching the interview with her and Big Jim on Stephanie's Places. That was
Right.
cool. But I don't know, man. That's what are your thoughts on that?
Like you said, we do think everything's a work because of the Seth Rollins thing, and we have to remember that most of the time when they had a injury, it wasn't a work. You know, but of course, and it's not just the injury. You know, of course, the Seth cash in the injury, but we had the R Truth situation, which of course that was, but I think that was a shoot,
Yeah,
but we still don't know. You know what I
right.
mean?
More than
Of course,
likely, his shoot turned into a
right. You know, now we
tournament.
got. That's why this carrying cross thing, which I know we're going to talk about that, but that's why that's kind of, you know, it's very eye opening. You know,
Right.
uh, but the Naomi situation here, right in the title run, I don't know how long are they saying she may be out.
They see it's one of those things where they're not giving any kind of dates and no title being vacated. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know what they're waiting to find out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, is she pregnant? Is she gonna say something? You know, of course, maybe we might find out tomorrow night on Raw, but usually that stuff comes out before the show comes on. You know, you'll usually get
Well,
some kind of media or something. So I don't know, man. It's very interesting to see because you know I just can't see her being pregnant. I can't see them being that careful for that long, and then all of a sudden you have
it happens now.
a misfire, right? And probably her biggest push ever. She's had the title before, you
Right,
know,
but
but
like you said,
this is her
this
big
especially
push.
at this point and the way the women's division is now, hottest as ever been.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah. So
I ain't actually not no disrespect to. I didn't really mean to say hottest as ever been. They have more on the roster
yeah,
that
it's
they're
deep.
utilizing. Yeah, it's deeper than it's ever
It's
been.
deep.
But
It's
but
deep
no
with
disrespect for
players.
what the four again. I no disrespect to the four horsewomen. I will always say that. Uh, Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bailey. And again, we know there's women before them, way before them, that paved the way. Again, talk about the Trish and the Leaders and the
Yeah, yeah,
Victorias.
yeah. And ain't nothing
But
taken away from them, but it's the roster
but
has never been this deep with players
right,
that a lot of them deserve and can take that step
right.
into being the
I
main
mean,
event.
you got even the EO guys, the Oscars,
Mm-hmm.
the Rhea Ripley's, like them some badass chicks, man. You
And the
know,
worst thing
so
you can do right now is get hurt because any one of them can step right into that spot and do it
right,
just a little better than you're doing right now. So,
right.
you know, but man, if she's hurt, prayers to her. If she's pregnant, congratulations. I know they've been, you know, I know he's been waiting a long time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Get
So, but
get a little ooze. See,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, but I mean, I know he like 39 or 40.
Yeah, they about to be 40. Their matter of fact,
Yeah.
their birthday is like the day before mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So they the 24th then.
yeah.
All right, then. You imagine changing diapers at 40 years old?
Right.
Hell no.
Just ask Daniel.
Right. That's one thing, bro. I don't want to be 60 years old, be like going to your son's graduation. Well, is it your granddad right there? Oh, that's my dad. He just old as hell. The dad was still 40, didn't know when to pull out. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be this is an uncensored episode.
That's your granddad.
WCW uncensored. No, that's my dad. Yeah, your dad old as hell, man. He gonna be like my dad was one of the Usos. Yeah, that was like 20 years ago, buddy.
Oh man.
Dude, you got to be watching YouTube like a mom and just see them in 20 years, dog. Yeah, my one uncle used to do the yeet thing. What? You know?
Oh man.
Oh man. So hey, let's talk about AAA for a minute.
Yes, sir.
Man, just give me the lowdown. Give me the skinny on what you thought about that.
You know, I was very.
What we're talking about is the PLV, of course.
Yeah, the Triple Mania is Triple Mania 33.
PLV.
Yeah, Triple Mania 33.
Yeah, what you said.
Triple A's biggest event.
Yeah,
and of course now they under WWE umbrella, so it was the very first time they had it under WWE umbrella, and of course Triple H and HBK and Nick Khan, they was there, and I was curious and I was very entertained. You know, a lot of legendary luchadors made appearances, and Conan, the commentary team. Shout out to the commentary
we'll
team.
never see that again, dog.
Yeah, Corey Graves, JBL, and Conan, I thought did a phenomenal job of just a blend of, you know, Conan, he's telling the American audience who these people were, you know, the Dr. Wagner Jr., you know, El Macias, and all these different characters, legendary characters, and Conan was kind of telling you, hey, who these people are to AAA or Luchador, and or this wrestler lost his mask in the mask versus mask match, and they had one match for the Latin American title, which is like their secondary title.
Right, it's like the Intercontinental title, yeah.
Right, and they had El Macias, which he's legendary. He's been like their mega champion, was their top title. He's been their mega champion like 4 times, Conan said, or whatever. But he's like the veteran now. He's old. He's as a Puerto Rican guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of almost looking like Damian Priest, really. Now that I really look at it. But he's before Damian Priest though. Macias been around. And he was going against his main rival was Dr. Wagner, which is you know, a masked wrestler back in the day. With Dr. Wagner lost his mask back in the day. I don't know if it's to Macias, but he lost a mask versus mask match or whatever. Yeah. But his son took on the character. His son is Dr. Wagner Jr. So Macias fought against the son while the dad was ringside. That was cool. How they did that in, but Conan had the beef with the dad too. So it was like, you know,
the dad Norm retired.
yeah.
You know, Conan can barely move, dog.
Yeah,
he's in bad shape.
Hey, let's see, he was kind of weird too. I saw him in there, you know.
Have a handicap match.
But you know, it was just cool. I thought I liked the first. I forgot. I don't know what they call their little version of the Royal Rumble. Was that a Royal Rumble type deal where, of course, over the top rope eliminated. Wrestlers came in every 90 seconds, but the difference that they had was that you can also get pinned, and submitted. You know, which is cool. And of course, it was definitely WWE influence. They had a surprise appearance from
LWO. So let me ask you this about the Otis and Omos thing. Was that to let us know that they're still alive? And I know Omos been in Japan, but he's been in Japan Noah, and that doesn't get the coverage like New Japan or anything like that.
Right.
You know, and I know they're trying to get it right, but is that just like a thing that, hey, let them know that, hey, to get these guys are okay and they still exist type thing, you know?
Yeah,
Because,
yeah. Plus, I mean, I kind of like how they did it. I mean, they put them in
yeah,
the little. I mean, hell, they still employees, and like you
yeah,
said, they don't. When last time we seen Omos?
yeah.
I mean, like literally, like
He definitely got better.
yeah, yeah,
Definitely got better. And
I mean,
it's
we
hard to
seen
be a big guy like that. And, you
yeah,
know, you
who
got to be
who
a
could he
special.
really feud with, like in for it to make sense?
Yeah,
And you know, Big Show's gone. I
yeah,
mean, you get what I'm saying? And so it's like Kane, those super heavyweight guys are Undertaker, you know,
yeah,
them days. Now, like Damian Priest is a big guy, but he's not Omos big.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Drew McIntyre is a big guy.
He
Randy Orton,
definitely,
a big guy. They're not Omos big. I mean, nobody's Omos big, but they're not even 7-footers.
right,
There's not many guys like that currently on the roster.
right, right. Yeah. I tell you what it was like for me, dog. It was almost like watching the first hour of Nitro, you
Yeah,
know, back in the day. Um,
yeah, yeah,
the different characters and the outfits and stuff. That Mecha Wolf or whatever is, I like that dude, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he really caught my eye. But stuff with the little guy, something
Micro Man.
macro man, yeah, that was cool or whatever, but you know, it
You know,
was it was definitely a good show. The last couple matches, and I'm not gonna sit here and try to call everybody's name out and all that stuff.
yeah, I know.
It's on YouTube on WWE. Check it out, man. It was awesome. Especially if you're a spot wrestling guy,
Yeah,
then it's right up your alley. But it just reminded me of 95, 96 ECW. One, at least one of those matches, a show, and then watching the first hour of Nitro, especially with La Parka. And and I don't know if that's the original La Parka.
nah, it's like the second or third version of La
Yeah, because
Parka.
I know them characters get taken over, but I
Yeah,
was almost convinced that La Parka was Dustin Rhodes because he used to be big and then he was small, but then you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I felt bad for the one guy that was like supposed to be this big old school veteran that had those skull knee pads on
yeah,
with the long hair. He didn't have no mask on. He's supposed to be this, you know what I'm saying, this legend or whatever. Dude could barely move, man. He
right,
was he was having a hard time. And I was like, I know he's hurting, you
right.
know. So, excuse me.
Hey, that tag team match was crazy too. The street fight with that
Uh,
psycho clown and
yeah.
with the dudes from Angel Garza and
Mm,
I forgot what they called you know
yeah.
SmackDown tag team, but of course
Yeah.
they was the AAA tag team champions going
Mm,
into it and defended their titles, and of course Psycho Clown and his partner ended up getting their titles back.
right.
Uh, but that was a brutal match.
Yeah. The Dominic match was good. I think Dominic got a huge pop coming out there.
Yeah,
Um, he's so good, dog. You don't even like it's when you think about when he first came out with the Brock Lesnar stuff, and then
hmm.
they started doing the little tag team stuff, and he does the frog splash just like Eddie Guerrero when he slaps the front of the hands real hard in the front.
Yeah,
You know, he does it so smooth. He's such a good worker, man. He's only going to get better. And his talk game is really good, especially when like the interaction with his dad when he first got there. I'm the greatest Mysterio ever. He might be.
it must. I was really happy to see. He's like, for real, it's like, nah.
And him and his dad have a wonderful relationship. That's why I think it's so easy for them to act like that. You
Right.
know, man, because they probably act like that at home sometimes, especially now when it's a little competitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you may imagine just coming over to your dad to walk around with the IC title. You know, just like, hey, Pop, how old were you when you had your first major singles title? You know what I'm saying? Just talking shit and just, I don't know, man. I just think they probably have the best relationship. That's why it's so easy for them to compete with each other and feud with one another. But
Right.
the thing with AJ showing up was cool.
Absolutely.
So that feud definitely isn't over.
Right.
And they're gonna have something where there's no, it's gonna have to be something where there's just them one on one. I don't see them having a cage match for the IC title. I don't know about that or nothing like that, but they're gonna have something come to a head here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but you got to give Dominic his due, man. He's killing it right now. He is killing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, dude, let's talk Karrion Kross, man. August the 10th, his contract was up. Him and his wife's contract both was up at the same day. His wife was signed to NXT in, I think, 2019, and he came in 2020, I believe.
Right.
Came in right after her.
Right.
So, from what I heard with the interviews and stuff, of course, he let some stuff out on his YouTube channel. This went crazy. And, of course, everybody thinks it's a work. And the way he was talking, I don't think it is. I think it's one of those things where, from his words, they gave him an offer, and he wanted to know where the offer came from.
Yeah, like how did they get to those numbers?
And
like,
wanted to break it down. And
show me the data.
Yeah.
Right.
And was basically saying, we're not going to do that. You got 24 hours to respond. Well, what about my wife? Well, once we take care of you,
we'll take care of her.
And he, they asked him, "What do you think she was going to do that?" He's not burying the company.
Right.
I will say,
still want to work with them.
Yeah, he's not burying them and saying, he's saying, I don't know. Which was probably, if you think about it, they decide you and be like, we don't really have anything for her right now.
Right.
How they usually do. This is one of those things, I think, is you're not listening to the crowd. And it's one of those things where you're the WWE, so to keep them from shining somewhere else, you'll bring them over here and then not use them correctly and then just let them go. And it's one of those things that with having competition. Well, we don't want AEW to get him.
Right.
You know what I mean? We don't want him. He's hot over here. He's too hot right here. He's getting over here. If he goes to AEW, they got a little bit more money. They can put some money behind him, stuff like that. And it's just weird how they were using him. It's like they were using him and setting stuff up, and then it just turns into nothing.
Well, you gotta think. We gotta be honest here. You think of the timeline. Of course, NXT. He was dominant. He was over.
Mm-hmm.
That was NXT though.
Yeah.
When Vince was in charge, there was a lot of NXT talent that was over NXT, but then when they got on the main roster, Vince might change up their gimmick, go a different direction for whatever reason. And it was a few wrestlers where some it worked out better, but there was many that it didn't pan out. And that's the nature of the beast. You're not gonna hit on everything and everyone. What Karrion Kross is one of those that it didn't hit, and they put him in this silly helmet and all this weird. They just made him look weird. It was like Vince went back to his cartoon characters and
Yeah.
their character base instead of him being more of a more realistic person, how they
Right.
do these
Right.
days. So that hurt him. Some people don't ever recover. But even now, you look at this little run. You mentioned how he kind of like been sort of like a cult leader type
Right.
with his
Trying to
dialogue.
be. He's
Right,
got a cult. He just don't have nobody to lead except for his old
right,
lady.
absolutely. So, and those kind of characters, I mean, there always been a few here and there. But even why it worked so well with Bray Wyatt because he was spooky and he had the whole,
It's believable.
right, right,
Yeah.
but he also was able to evolve into something, he was like a Rob Zombie or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this dude is Tom Savini, Wes Craven, he was that guy. But thinking Karrion Cross, it just kind of happened too late, man.
Yeah.
Because WWE, I'm sure they play chess now. So even with the storyline, they can't help injuries or even crowd responses or anything, but they have a plan. And we know Karrion Cross was never really in their plan because he wasn't a factor for so long. And by the time they decided, like, hey, we're not serious about keeping this guy, it's like now the fans finally caught on to this guy, but but they don't that's why it wasn't like you said, they'll sign him again for whatever terms that they had
Right.
on paper, but that's just to keep him away from Tony Khan or whoever else. But who's to say that he might not never pan out? He might go to the AEW. And I mean, everybody didn't hit over there. Look what happened with Miro and other wrestlers. Everybody don't hit
Yeah.
over there either.
Everybody, they go crazy when you get there that first couple of times.
Right. But
It's time to do stories, and that's not their strong suit.
right.
And not to say that they're a spot wrestling company, but that's just not their strong suit, dog. And we know that everybody knows that. So, but it's interesting in what's going to happen. Like saying he's not bashing the company, he says he still wants to work with them. So he's handling everything PR wise correctly. He's
Right.
speaking on it, but he's not bashing. He's not like a Ryback or somebody stupid like that.
You could tell he's a very intelligent guy too. Like,
Yeah.
you hear him talk, he's very articulate. Like he's which is probably part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because they even with him talk about the terms of the contract, they it kind of reminds me of Michael Parsons and Jerry Jones situation. The the dialogue on that is, Michael Parsons about to be the highest paid defensive player when he gets his contract, right? Because each pass rusher, they make more than the other one. TJ Watt and the dude from Cleveland, they all, when they get their contracts, you know how the game goes, they all jump over the other one. Well,
Right.
Michael Parsons' turn. But apparently the fallout was because of Michael Parsons didn't get to negotiate his contract with his agent. It's almost like Jerry didn't want to cut the agent out. Like, where they do that at? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
So I kind of think of that with Karrion. Not that his agent wasn't there, but it was like 24 hours. He wanted to take his time on his decision and see what's really going on. And it was just like, no, sign this shit or we pulling it tomorrow. That ain't right, man.
And they did.
Yeah.
If it's not a work, which I don't think this one is. I don't,
Yeah.
So like I say, we're gonna see, but it just looks like it looks like like we just said, man. It's one of those things where you got talent because you didn't want the talent to go somewhere else,
Right.
and then you misused him. He was over in NXT. You want to switch it up. You know, so and like you say, a lot of people can't recover from that. You know what I mean? And then you built him as this cult leader, but you never gave him anybody to lead.
Right.
That,
And
you,
then
they
they
blew off
got
that whole thing with AJ. You didn't do
they
that.
they got right true. Then they got rid of what's the tag team? Uh Authors of Pain and
Hmm.
Paul El, which that was kind of weird.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just too convoluted. It was like too many of them.
yeah,
Uh, maybe it could have worked it with just the tag team and him, but even then, it was they looked dangerous,
mhm,
but it everybody can't be the bloodline, and
yeah. Right,
it just didn't work. For a long term. I mean, I don't know, man. It just like you said, he didn't have nobody credible to lead because it was hard to take him seriously in the first place,
right, right.
which is, I mean, that's what it was, man. It'd be different if somebody like a Drew McIntyre, I'm using him as an example, not saying he's a cult leader. I'm just
Right.
saying, but he got, I mean, he's a former world champion in two different eras. Like
There's a reason to follow him.
right,
He's been
he
somewhere.
holds
Done some
weight,
things. Yeah, he's done things.
yeah, yeah. So he's a super duper heel,
Yeah,
you know. I mean, carrying cross.
yeah, yeah. So, like I said, it'd be interesting to see what happens with him if he does sign with AEW because they'll do the same thing. They'll sign him just because he came from WWE.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then they'll use that. Hey, say this, this, and this. You got Edge and Christian over there. They finally reunited and are
yeah,
going
that's cool.
together, which is cool. And, they're having a ball because they know it's almost over. Especially when you were already told it was over.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So everything they're doing right now is a blessing. The fact that he came back from that the way he came off the top of the cage, and I'm talking about Edge, and can still wrestle some more is amazing in itself. Excuse me. So, you know,
Hey man, that kind of reminded me. Um, so Sam Roberts the other day, he talking about some comments John Cena made, and they was somebody asked Cena was his favorite opponent, and he mentioned a few opponents like Seth Rollins and the obvious ones, CM Punk, Randy Orton, those kind of guys, and those are guys that he had like longevity with, obviously. And Sam Roberts made a good point though. So he kind of like to his listeners, he said, "Well, I have a question. He said, I understand favorite opponents, like best opponents, but he was like, who's a wrestler's best rivalry? Like he called it their soulmate, their wrestling soulmate."
yeah,
And I like how he put it. And they was going down like I use Nate as example. And people was like, well, Sting and Steamboat and those are the main ones people was kind of suggest Sting or Steamboat. But then it was like Dusty. He was like the whole kid, the son of a plumber, the whole like that whole feud, the thing with the horsemen. I mean, even though they both ran cross paths years before that, and they both had many, many rivalries with other, because the territory days, and both with NWA champ, and they both very, very highly popular wrestlers, obviously, in that time, put on top of the food chain.
right,
But just thinking about like they were talking about Hogan and they came up with Macho, but they was like could have been Piper, it could have been other wrestlers, but they was like him and Macho they just had that even the whole Mega Powers explode and Some people could say Andre, and but it was very interesting topic. And you ever thought about like your favorite wrestlers, like Sting? Who's Sting wrestling soulmate?
Mm, mm. I mean, of course, the first thing come to mind is Flair, but I'd like to say they had a lot of matches, but him and Muda, they had some
See,
great matches.
that boy, we on the same page.
Yeah, him and
Not to
Stone.
say, not to say that's the right answer, but
Yeah,
even in uh Muda's retirement tour, one of his last matches,
where it was the tag with
yeah,
Darby.
with Sting, like that's his. That I talk about that Neo Agent Smith thing.
Yeah,
Boy, that's Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You
Heck yeah,
know, that's some real
yeah,
stuff right there, bro.
yeah. That's like going to the Kumite and running into your, what I'm saying, somebody just like you,
Yeah,
a whole nother country, because they had the same move set almost. They were, the way they hopped the ropes outside onto the guy, just all the stuff. And even with stunning Steve Austin, y'all almost could say Rick Rude, even though it was bad blood at the end.
yeah,
But major stuff went down with them.
yeah. That was one of my favorite feuds, actually.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, think of one of his biggest that run he had with Vader.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I'm not gonna say as his wrestling soulmate, but at the same time, I mean, there's no criteria for it, but you would think of their. I look at it like their greatest rivalry, right? It
right.
ain't just the matches. It's the intensity of the rivalry, obviously, and it's also where they were at the time of it becoming a rivalry.
Yeah,
And of course, there's many rivalries that kind of
yeah.
happen through multiple
It's like
eras.
your favorite dance partner, who you know you're
There
gonna
you
get
go.
down with the best. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So yeah, man, that'd be a great topic one day. You know,
Yeah,
just to break stuff down like that, because you got the wheels turning now. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Yeah, man. Even think of like something like the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Like who would be
I
there?
mean, I tell you the easiest one for me though, like there's two of them. Singles, the first one come to mind. Brett Sean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tag team, Rock and Roll Midnight.
Oh God,
I'm
that
just saying.
no brainer though.
Yeah.
You almost you almost don't even have to use your brain to come up with them two.
Right.
You know. I want to go back to the carrying cross thing and say one thing about
Okay,
the
bro.
real quick. Lucky for him, we're in the times that we are right now. So
Right.
he's got plenty of options. Him
There you
and his,
go.
you know,
Right.
the AEW, TNA, NWA's got a whole channel on Roku now. You know, they got the NWA Power Hour and all that stuff. Like, it's places to go. Memphis is back on. Memphis wrestling is back on TV. You know, using a
Speaking.
couple big names here and there. Buff Bagwell's over there a lot. You
Okay.
know, and shout out to him, man, one more time. Shout out to Buff Bagwell one more time. Dude's still showing up everywhere, man, and embracing it. You know,
Absolutely.
so shout out to him, man. He's, you know, like I said, that really could have brought him all the way to the bottom.
Right.
And I mean, he's at these shows, at these signings, and still got a smile on his face, and you know, so, we don't talk religion on here. We don't talk politics, but God's doing some work in that guy. I just say
Right.
that, and we'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't talk about
Absolutely.
this stuff on here. We ain't trying to offend nobody. We believe what we believe, and we keep it moving. But you know, this it might sound stupid, but so proud so proud of him. You know what I mean? So just to even get to see that stuff. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Hey, I wanted to talk about the Undertaker podcast.
Okay.
Have you seen what happened here lately?
No. I mean,
Okay.
I've been watching the episodes, but what happened lately?
Well, lately the Undertaker podcast is now under the WWE umbrella.
Right, which he had his wife as his co-host.
Right. And they've had to get rid of the other guy
Right.
that was basically
The one that got it started and had it running.
right. I think that's so crazy. Like they just put him all the way out of the equation.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
that's what happens, man.
Yeah, that's a shame that's a dirty business, and I don't, and I haven't, I thought about that, but I haven't really dug into it till you brought it up.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder, like, did they at least financially compensate on some kind of way for
You
that?
would hope so. He Maven interviewed him, and I gotta watch it. And I shouldn't have brought it up
Okay.
until I watched it. But
Okay.
hey, shout out to Maven too. Maven is killing it. Now everybody wants to do what Maven is doing. All these old wrestlers want to talk about the different stuff that happened to them while they were doing it. Maven done started something.
Okay. Right.
But he started this thing. He was the first one to talk about how much money I made, what it's like this, what it's like this, and just being totally honest and giving you, just giving you that backstage pass to the business that everybody's always looked for.
Right.
And we more and more these days anyway with social media, and everybody's got a vlog and do this and do that, and so, but yeah, man, I just totally forgot what I was talking about.
Yeah, or blown to smithereens. Now you was of course you was talking about man.
Yeah, maybe they started something, dog. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him for what he's doing. And even the stuff like he'll go to pull up at a show and sneak up backstage and just go back there and see if he can. AEW let him back there. Tony Khan met with him for a minute and was all
Right.
cool with stuff. So, it was what a great idea he had. But he's got an interview with old dude, so I don't know if he, talks about if he got broke off anything, which I hope he did, because he had to be like part owner because it was his idea.
Right.
Why don't we do this, do this, do this?
And you wonder, and I know we don't know these people, but you would think, like, especially for the Undertaker, for him to open up, and because of course he been past, say 10 years or so, he kind of start to not, well, I ain't gonna say 10 years now, he retired officially by WrestleMania 36. I'd say like the past 5 years or
Yeah, he
so, he
started
kind
talking
of,
up a little bit.
yeah, he kind of opened up a little bit and started
Yeah.
doing appearances and all that kind of stuff. The One Dead Man Show, and doing podcasts, Mike Tyson, and all kinds of different stuff. So he's been in the mix, but for him to co-host a podcast show with a lot of these uh, wrestlers or managers like Jim Cornette and Dutch Mantel, and they all have a co-host, right?
Yeah.
And look what Conrad was doing
Yeah.
with Bruce Pritchard and everybody else.
He does Shakani, Jim Ross. Yeah, man.
Right.
King of
So
podcasts.
and shout out Conrad, because to me he the wrestling podcast king.
Right. I just said that he the king of the podcast, dog.
Yeah. So
he one got started with Flair and
yeah, no disrespect for Conrad, because Conrad, bro, you heavy inspiration, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Straight up. Much love to Conrad. However, see, I don't forgot my damn point.
It's some good going around, boy. Come on. You're talking about Conrad. You said no disrespect to Conrad. So
Yeah, I know, but I forgot my point. What I
was you gonna say who's the originator of the podcast, Wrestling Podcast?
No. Okay, there we go. Back
Who
to
is?
it. We were talking. No. We know. No, I ain't gonna say. I'm not even gonna say Conrad because I might be disrespecting somebody else. What I'm saying, I was talking about the Undertaker though.
Yeah.
We were talking about how my point was he seemed like the kind of guy like he must really know and trust this gentleman.
Yeah.
For him to open up to having a podcast with somebody. You know what I mean? I know all the wrestlers doing it, so he's like, well, shit, I can make some money, whatever. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure he's a businessman, and you see that. Okay, now my character, I'm no longer have to walk around as the dead man.
Yeah.
I have stories to tell too. I'm sure people want to listen to my stories. So of course he started getting out there telling his stories. But for him to just co-host with somebody and say, hey, you gonna lead it or whatever, however that came about, is very unfortunate.
It's over.
That they didn't include my man in on the deal, man.
Yeah. I wonder if he's the one that told him. I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that'd be like me, like WWE taking over. I'd be like, P.O., man, WWE done took over the podcast, and I'm sorry to tell you, but
yeah, I be done already struck a side deal though.
Yes. You like G Money, ain't you? Remember what I told you. I am gonna be the next Kane. Didn't work out too well with neither one of them.
Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. Oh man. Damn, G. Hey, just real quick, thinking about it now, like, a lot of podcast guys don't do it anymore. Stone Cold don't do his anymore. And he was doing 2 a week at one time.
Yeah, well, true. That is true. Yeah. And I guess just like wrestling, they just got burnt out. Plus, they was in the game for a while, so they was ahead of the curve.
Pac had one. I don't know if he still does. I don't see anything from an X-Pac.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. And you got to think Jericho.
Yeah, well, Jericho, he going hard and strong and he ain't stopping and doing anything.
He do everything anyway.
Bro, he's a workhorse, dog, with the cruise.
Yeah.
All the stuff that he does besides still being a full-time roster member.
Right.
And really pulling his weight over there. And to do the podcast, have one out every Friday. So yeah, man. And he got 2 bands. He's got Fozzy, and he has that tribute band that he does. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh my God, 2 bands.
2 bands, dog. 2 bands.
Shout out Chris Jericho, man. He underrated, man.
Yeah,
I ain't even call it underrated. But that's the first undisputed champion right there, bro.
Junior.
Yeah, I mean, like, I still can't believe that Vince did that. That was so cool that he, because everybody just knew, was it going to be Stone Cold or The Rock? He beat both of them the same night. They can't never take that away from him, bro.
Jericho's the man, dog. And I don't stop it no time soon. I do see him being one of those guys that if he can't do a certain move set, that he'll call it quits. Like if he can still do the stuff, he'll do it. But I don't see him just being, but he just pulls off everything. Don't look bad. He is the master at reinventing himself.
Man, he's one of the best ever.
Nobody
best in the world.
Him as far as reinventing himself. The stuff he's doing now with the learning tree. Hi guys.
I mean, what he say? Quote, I am the best in the world at what I do.
He ain't lying. He ain't lying. I know I listen, there's some podcasts that you'll be on that you don't listen to a lot. Then you'll listen to it, then you'll fall off of it. I listen to Talking Shop and Chris Jericho faithfully. So shout out to them too, and Drink Champs. Those are just ones that I do not miss. Now, the Drink Champs, sometimes, and that has nothing to do with wrestling. We're just talking about podcasts. But Drink Champs, it be hit or miss sometimes with, the genre of the guest might not be what you're interested in. You see what I'm saying? But if you're a hip hop guy, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna win. And All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Captain Jack is my guy, man. And I didn't like Matt Barnes till he went to the Lakers. I liked him before he went, but I liked him until the day he did the Flinch thing. And then when he went to LA, and then you hear how him and Kobe just like hit it off, and Kobe wanted him over there. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a lot of good podcasts out there, dog. It's a lot out there. I know we all over the place. I like the Raw Room, with the football stuff. I like it's a couple of what are your main ones you listen
to? Currently
that you don't miss.
I've definitely been listening a lot of Jim Cornette, man. This actually past few days I've been listening a lot of old stuff. I'm a historian, and he has he's a historian, and he tells a lot of stories, or whether it's about titles or title runs or promoters, or territories. I love listening to him when he just spitting knowledge. But it's another one that it's not about wrestling, but that I'm really stuck on lately is the Joe and Jada, man, the Fat Joe and Jada Kiss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I've always been a Fat Joe guy.
Yeah.
But he's hilarious, dog. His storytelling, he be telling stories, man, and he be all animated, and you could tell like
he robbed the whole lunchroom that one time.
Yeah, wait, he tell them stories too. But his energy around like even the guest rappers and stuff that they come on there, you can tell they all got love for him. And, it's funny how him and Jadakiss got this weird chemistry. Because Joe will be telling the story, JD will like, oh, here he go again. And Joe be like, no, for real, Jada. No, and just like the last week or the week before, it was right after SummerSlam, and Joe was telling Jada, he was sitting ringside, and he was telling the story where Jelly Roll fought in the match.
Man, that was hilarious.
Man, right. So, I listen a lot of Joe and Jada. And then I've been on that 24/7 wrestling show lately too, man. I'll probably listen to Bust It Open one day, and then Sam Roberts come on right after them. And I really like Sam Roberts' show.
Yeah.
I really do. Which he got multiple shows, but this is the radio show, not the actual podcast, but the radio show.
Yeah, because there's so much stuff you can watch, and people got all kind of shows. Shout out to the New Wave podcast with Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. and Ryan Williams, Roll Tide. They had Mark Ingram on there the other day. And
cool.
Man, it was just, Mark Ingram just broke down. We're way off wrestling, but we're talking about podcasts right now, and this is our show. We can talk about whatever the hell we want to. But Mark Ingram just breaking down his recruiting, the stuff with Saban, his favorite teammates, and talking about the Heisman, the draft, they had Terrion Arnold on there talking about when he failed in the draft and, was thinking he was going 8 to the Falcons and, just talking about the how blessed he was with his agent and all that stuff and, just all kind of stuff, man. They when they say new wave, like they really doing something, And the one thing I found out about Terrion Arnold that him and Jalen Milroe started the length thing. Let a naysayer know, I'm finna go out here and length this dude, let him know. And they paid up, they that really made them some money and they was able to give some teammates some NIL money that wouldn't have got no money.
That's dope right there.
And said that he knew that the bag was coming from the NFL, you know what I'm saying? But they could have got a little break and still break they teammates off. Right. And man, I just thought that was cool as hell, man. Like, because you got walk-on guys, you got guys that are barely eating, that are just, on scholarship and don't have nothing else and working hard and you got them players. When we get into football, bro, there's nothing more important than the practice squad to get you prepared.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in college and stuff like that, when you got guys busting their tail and not even getting to dress out. You know what I'm saying? So for them to hook some guys like that up with some NIL money, a little extra money, man, that speaks about somebody's character and about why them guys are going to get blessed and have long, good, successful careers because they already were making the right decisions in college.
Right.
I'm saying that just speaks highly about them. And not just because, because this is, you might see these belts and stuff right here. This is Welcome to Wrasslin', but when we turn to the left, it's Bama Central over there, in the studio. So
I'm not a roll tighter, y'all. That's no disrespect.
Yeah,
no
he
disrespect.
is.
No disrespect.
He just don't want nobody to know.
He's a roll tighter.
He's a closet Bama fan. He can't help it.
Nah, definitely not that. I don't root against them, but I'm not like for them either. You get what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
And that's cool. And next week we're gonna have Nick Saban on the show.
Hey, I'll be all for that. He's the GOAT.
Man, can you imagine? Just to have a 15-minute conversation and get to ask about 2-3 questions.
Hey, I'll be worse than Pat McAfee.
Come on, dog. But yeah, man, shout out to Ryan Williams, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., man, New Wave Podcast. Yeah, I tell you, and I've said it before, the Maven YouTube, love it. I mean, it's so insightful, and it just gets you hooked. Like, the stuff we did with Perry Saturn.
Right.
I had issues with Perry Saturn. Perry Saturn hated me. Let's go talk to him and find out what the real beef was.
Right.
Went to Justin Credible when Justin Credible was they were accusing him of taking money from stuff for merch and stuff and not sending the people the stuff. He went and asked him, hey man, is this true? Are you doing this stuff?
That's what happened to my It's Not Just the Coolest t-shirt. I never got that thing in the mail, man.
Man, I'm not just the coolest. I'm just incredible. But yeah, man, it's a lot of exciting stuff. Like we said earlier, it's great to be a wrestling fan right now, and just any kind of fan, because there's so much cool information and stories and stuff that you can get about everything, and we're gonna work our way right into there. And y'all be like, man, I make sure I listen to Welcome to Wrasslin'. That's about it. That's the only podcast I listen to. They're the greatest ever. Yeah. But man, shout out to everybody in the podcast game, man, doing their thing, man. I hope we all kill it. We're all successful. And we all get to do this for a living. If that's what we're gonna do, because that's what we're trying to do.
Right.
And subscribe.
Like,
please,
comment, subscribe.
It don't take nothing but a little flick of the cursor and a little tap. That's it.
Comment, subscribe.
We'll break y'all something when we get big. We ain't gonna forget about everybody.
Plus, we had to say this. We got a milestone. We reached over 150 subscribers.
Absolutely.
I think we're right at 152 right now.
Right.
So we appreciate y'all, all you people, and the subscribers. And that's a milestone. 150. We're on our way, and we really appreciate that. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Absolutely. So yeah, man. Well, it's been episode 35. Welcome to Wrasslin.
Welcome to Wrasslin.
Bro, we only got, I mean, it's a good little amount, but we're going to do something special for our 1 year anniversary, which is going to be coming up in January, right after the Royal Rumble, or we'll see where the Royal Rumble's at, but we're going to do something special for the 1 year. And that'll be coming up around, and hopefully we should be at 200 subscribers by the end. Feeling good about ourselves and glad that we're still going. And yeah, man, we 8 months in this thing, dog. You know, so ain't no stopping now. We too deep now. Ain't no stopping. We got Survivor Series right around the corner. And we'll be talking about that soon. We'll see what's going on with Raw tomorrow and pick up where we left off next week. We will be doing a deep dive topic here pretty soon on something cool that we can talk about. But right now, we've just been having a good time covering our favorite, our most thought about stories of the week about what's going on in wrestling. So, hey, man, at the end of the day, you know what we say? It's welcome to Wrasslin.
Welcome to Wrasslin.
Yeah. Love y'all, man. Subscribe now.
Welcome to Wrasslin, Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the POT. Podcast tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash straight to the face. I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me.